It's been one of those weeks where I just worked a lot. Worked all 6 days, full days. Only day off was today, Sunday, and I got a million projects going on here, as you can see, that are kind of midstream. Things soaking in Evapor Rust, things soaking in WD-40. I'm still trying to finish up. I want to get this socket set refinished. Just a lot of things going on today. Like many of you, you sleep in a little bit that last day, or your only day off when you're off. And I usually get up at 5 a.m. during the week and get home around 7. So that one day off, you end up usually sleeping, or if you get 2 days off, you end up sleeping to the same time you usually do, which is 5 a.m. And today I did that. I got up at 5, but watched a little YouTube, and I actually fell back asleep and woke up at 9:30, and there was a estate sale today that I wanted to get to that was in its second day, where everything was going to be 50% off. And I got there about an hour later, not hoping to get much, but I did get some good stuff, so I'll share that with you. And I also went to Sears to return a ratchet that I had for a while that I've been trying to get warranted, so I'll take you through that. And then today I wanted to go to Harbor Freight. They were running the 30% off 5 items under $10. So let's see how I did today. Well, there's not too many Sears left, but I happened to be by one today, and I am gonna try to get this warranted. Hopefully they could just give me a repair kit. It's a nice 1/4-inch thumb wheel drive. The springs are no good in it. I took it apart and they're just shot. So I'm hoping they could rebuild it, keep all the original stuff. This is a rare one. You see how it says patent pending 1971. These are definitely one of the original thumb wheels. So let's see what happens with the warranty process. Well, I guess it's appropriate that it's raining today, because that was one of the most depressing things I've seen in a long time. I ended up leaving after wandering around probably way longer than I should have, reminiscing of what Sears used to be and what that tool section used to be on a Sunday. It would be elbow to elbow, people going through the aisles, and that just was a depressing sight. Very little inventory, and very few people in the store. Needless to say, I ended up coming back out with the ratchet. The guy was nice enough that I spoke to, but he was basically just going to swap it out for me. They had a bunch of ratchets behind the register, 1/4-inch drive, 3/8 drive, 1/2-inch drive, and basically you bring in a broken tool, you get to pick a new one. And then, you know, they did have some USA ones, they had China ones, but they were nothing of the thumb wheel variety of this make and model. All newer ones that I have tons of. So I figured I'm not going to give up this beautiful piece of Americana just to have a working ratchet when I have tons of them. I mean, you're not going to be able to find something like this anymore. So I'll find something on eBay, or I'll come across the springs. It just needs the springs really to get up and working. So here's a couple pictures I took while I was there. So like I said, when I was a kid, I enjoyed Sears more than I did Toys R Us. I used to look for the ad in the Sunday paper and then the catalogs for the holidays, and it was depressing. The shelves were empty, the store was empty, and that's what happens when you move your production out of the United States. I mean, the Western forged screwdrivers, those aren't them. They look like them, but they're made in China. I did find this one ratcheting wrench here, screwdriver that was made in the USA, and I almost bought it. It was marked down from $25 to $11. Let's see what Stanley Black & Decker does. Hopefully they're able to bring this back to the US and make it something that we want to buy again. Okay, so now I'm at Harbor Freight, which seems like it's real busy. The parking lot's full, and I'm going to be using my 30% off coupons on 5 items that are under $10. Let's see what I get. I love these specials when they have any item under $10, 30% off. You got to be real selective and choose wisely. As you can see, the lines were long. You're talking 15 people deep, 10 people deep at any given time. Something I did not see in Sears for sure. A lot of excitement around this Icon tool brand. It looked nice. I was actually pretty impressed with it. I haven't bought any yet. Wouldn't say I wouldn't. It's mostly made in Taiwan, which is pretty quality stuff. I really liked the ratcheting ones that they had. They were long. They were nice. Nice chrome. Looked good. This is one of the items I did buy. It was the adapter set, impact rated. And when you're at Harbor Freight, you got to know what you're doing. Some of their stuff's made in China, and some of it's made in Taiwan. And some of the Chinese stuff's okay, but I prefer the Taiwan stuff. And this happened to be made in both, so I thumbed through and found the one that was made in Taiwan. So in between all my travels of my trip to Sears, Harbor Freight, I did actually make it to the estate sale that was 50% off today. So I paid $10 for everything in here today. I did a little bit of negotiating at the end of the day. I think some of the stuff was overpriced. It was definitely overpicked. I spent probably about a half hour, 45 minutes there just picking through to find these handful of items that I got $10 for. So I've been looking for a tap and die set. This one is made in Taiwan. They had a $15 price tag on it. There was no way I was going to pay that for it. You got to know what you're doing at these estate sales. People Google stuff and they look stuff up and they think they know what the prices are, but the $15 was not a fair price for this. I was willing to pay maybe $3, and that's probably what I ended up paying for it, if that. How about this? This is a really nice Stanley Yankee screwdriver, model 41, I believe it was. Yeah, number 41Y. My dad likes these. He has one that he uses, he told me. The drill bit's broken on it, but I'll see. I'll clean it up, and I thought that was pretty cool. You do see those quite a bit. This I picked up for my nephew. He's in 7th grade, and he likes toys just as much as I did when I was in 7th grade. He said to me last week, Uncle Tom, I got a lot of these blades, but I need the thing that they go in. So I picked this up for him today. It's a vintage Craftsman. I mean, it's a nice heavy duty. It's adjustable. And how cool is this? It has the original tag on it. It says something like 6A9B6562 for $2.19. I mean, that was back in the day when they were Sears and manually pricing stuff. It says Sears and Roebuck on it. I mean, that is just so cool. And that's some of the stuff I love when I'm out there looking for stuff. So really good quality. So I'll clean this up and give it to my nephew, and I'm sure he'll enjoy that. And he'll be cutting stuff up. Here we got a WIS MPC3. I do have a bunch of WISs, but this is a little bit smaller model. It's a multi-purpose one. They get about $10 for these, but they're still made in the USA. This one's made in the USA. I was glad to find that. Who would know this would be the big find? I mean, I love using my torch from time to time, but I don't have one of these fancy ones. I got the manual. You turn it on, you light it, and you use it. This has got the trigger, the on-off. I was shocked. I looked up the value of this when I left just to see, I knew it was worth something, but they're getting used for these on eBay 30 and up. So this was the score of the day, and next time I use it, I'll be laughing that I got such a good deal on it. I was glad to get that. Really nice made in the USA chisel. I mean, it is sharp, never used. 2 3/8 made in the USA, Western Forge. Really good value there. This I got a lot of these little nut drivers and screwdrivers, but when I could find the old vintage Craftsman stuff, just from a collector's standpoint, probably ended up paying 50 cents to $1 for this. And like I did the video last week on the nut drivers and the made in the USA one, the Buffalo that you could get, Buffalo brand at Costco, but these are made in the USA nut drivers. It is missing the 2 Phillips ones, but everything else looks like it's brand new, was never used. Not sure what the heck these plastic things are. I think they might have been an adapter that goes in there for the old drills. I'm not sure though. They're calling it a screw finder, I think. It says 2 screw finders. Maybe that's what those are. Don't know much about them. If you know what those plastic things are, let me know in the comments. And then finally in here, a gauge, a spark plug gauge, but this one is a Mako made in the USA. So I thought that was kind of neat. And then a couple of these hose clamps. I mean, when you need these, they're expensive. I bought a bundle of them at Harbor Freight the last time they had the 30% off sale, but they don't have the big ones like this, at least not in the package I got. And I did have to buy a couple of these recently at Home Depot for a project, and I want to say they were $2 and change each, so I got a couple of those thrown in as well. And whenever I can grab a little tub while I'm there to put all the tools in, you don't charge you for that, and I'll use that to soak tools in, clean stuff up, use it and abuse it and throw it out. Let's take a closer look at the tap and die set. So I took a quicker look here at this tap and die set. I opened it up as an SAE set. Like I said, for a few dollars, it's definitely worth it. It looks like it was barely used. And some of the stuff's just some surface rust. I'll be able to buff that out, soak into some WD-40. I'll clean this tray up. And for the few times when I'm in a pinch and I break off a bolt, I'll use it and I'll need it. It does have a couple of USA made taps in it, some Hansen. I see at least 2 of them, and I got some other ones, so not bad for a couple bucks. So it's no wonder that Sears is going out of business. So like I mentioned earlier, moving production out of the United States is probably the largest factor in them going out of business. I think they would have been just as busy as Harbor Freight today if they would have maintained the quality. Even if they had to charge a little bit more. I think everybody's willing to pay a little bit more for quality USA made stuff. But it started going downhill even when the stuff was made in the USA. And as you know, I do put stuff on eBay. I try to sell stuff when I buy a lot of stuff and sell my duplicates and keep the good stuff. And I was planning on keeping this set of USA made breaker bars that I picked up recently. I got the 1/4 inch drive, the 3/8 and the 1/2 inch, and I was going to keep it because it was in such great shape. It's never been used. And then the more I looked at it, I said, you know what? I could get $75 plus shipping is pretty much the going rate for these USA made ones. And they were just made right before they moved production overseas, and they just were made junky. So they started going downhill even prior to going out of the United States. I don't know if you could just see this here, how that's built. Right? And then even the detents, it's got lines in here. It doesn't really have, I mean, it's just sloppy, just really not well made. I have to show you an example here of one that is a Craftsman old vintage V with the 2 bars. So this is probably from the 70s, but look at the difference here in how that is made compared to this just being inset, to where this is inset and then actually machined over or bent over, but with a hammer. I forget what they call that process, but just the quality is so much better. It has the detent. I mean, you could hear that. Listen to that. Positive detent. Positive. I mean, this is, 20, 30 years older. Held up really well. So they've been going downhill for a while, and you got to make quality products, especially tools, if you're going to stay relevant and stay in business. So what was the 5 items I got? I ended up getting this Super Lube. It was regularly $6.99, came to $4.89. Love that for my ratchets. I also use that on my fishing rods. The 3-piece impact adapter set, which I showed you earlier, from Taiwan, $4.99 is the regular price. Paid $3.49. I got that 6-inch brass coated wire wheel. That's a softer one that could hopefully get into the tools as I'm cleaning them up to restore them. I only have a steel one currently. I was happy with that, and it was only $2.79 after the 30% off. So it was regularly $3.99. Bought a set of the heavier duty gloves. I have a lot of the 5 mil. They run them on sale all the time. Picked up the 7 mil. They're regularly $10. I got that for $7. And the last thing is this little package of just wire wheel brush set that goes inside the Dremel tool, and I'll use that as well for refinishing and getting in those tight spots with tools. And that's regularly $4.99, paid $3.49 for that. Well, thank you for watching today. Hopefully you liked my trip to Sears and to Harbor Freight and a little bit of my estate sale find. Please like and subscribe. I do got a bunch of upcoming videos, some more estate sale finds and tool finds at yard sales, as well as the projects I'm doing restoring a bunch of tools. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.